All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our musical bedtime story for tonight. Glad you guys are here. We're going to give everyone a second to get filtered in here. If you are watching, go on and comment. Let me know who you are, where you're from. This morning for our move-in group, we had people all the way from Virginia, which was really exciting. We're located here in Fort Worth, Texas. So yeah, definitely if you are far away, please comment and let us know. It's good to see everybody. Awesome, awesome. Alrighty, well, let's go on and get started. We're going to get started tonight with a good old hello song. So let's do it. Hello, how do you do? Hello, how do you do? Hello, how do you do? Oh, it's so good to see you. All right, we're going to start out singing to me. My name is Annie. I'm one of the music therapists here with Heart and Harmony Music Therapy. So let's start out with singing Hello to Annie. Hello, Annie, how do you do? Hello, Annie, how do you do? Hello, Annie, how do you do? Oh, it's so good to see you. All right, and now we've got to sing to you. I see here in our comments we have Marcus watching. Hello, Marcus. And whoever else is out there watching, we're going to sing it again. Feel free to fill your name in as we sing it now. Hello to, how do you do? Hello to, how do you do? Hello to, how do you do? Oh, it's so good to see you. Thanks for singing along. And I'm so glad that you're here, my friend. I'm so glad that you are here. Excellent. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our musical bedtime story live stream all the way from Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to get started in just a second with our musical bedtime story tonight. Tonight our book is Commotion in the Ocean. Hi, Allie and Kara. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Peter and Maggie. But first, before we get started with our book, we are going to get started with a quick song to shake some of our sillies out, get some of those wiggles out before we go to bed. So feel free to shake along. Oh, we're gonna shake, shake, shake our sillies out. Shake, shake, shake our sillies out. Shake, shake, shake our sillies out. And wiggle our waggles away. Good, give it a good shake. Nice shaking, everybody. Next, how about we clap our crazies out? That sounds good to me. We're gonna clap, clap, clap our crazies out. Clap, clap, clap our crazies out. Clap, clap, clap our crazies out. And wiggle our waggles away. Nice work, everybody. Let's see, what else can we do? How about we get ready to tap your fingers. Tap, tap, get ready to tap your toes. And we're gonna tap, tap, tap our tickles out. Tap, tap, tap our tickles out. Tap, tap, tap our tickles out. And wiggle our waggles away. Nice tapping, everybody. How about we get some nice neck twists there. We're gonna twist some twisties. We're gonna twist, twist, twist our twisties out. Twist, twist, twist our twisties out. Twist, twist, twist our twisties out. And wiggle our waggles away. Nice twisting, everybody. And now let's all take a deep breath in. And we're gonna blow our billies out. Here we go. We're gonna blow, blow, blow our billies out. Very nice. We're gonna blow, blow, blow our billies out. Nice one. We're gonna blow, blow, blow our billies out. And wiggle our waggles away. Excellent. Shaking, everybody. Get some of those wiggles, those sillies, those tickles out before we get started with our bedtime story. Alrighty, tonight, like we said just before, we are going to be reading Commotion in the Ocean. So with our musical bedtime stories this week, some of our songs are going to be about music. Some of our books, are going to be about music. Some books are going to be set to tunes you might know. And some books just really work well with some different tunes. So I've made up my own little tune here for our Commotion in the Ocean book tonight. And let's read and follow along. Alrighty, here's our first page. Just get where everyone can see that. Nice work. There's a curious commotion at the bottom of the ocean. I think we ought to go and take a look. You'll find every sort of creature that lives beneath the sea, swimming through the pages of this book. Look at all those creatures swimming around under there. There are dolphins, whales, and penguins. There are jellyfish and sharks. There's the turtle and the big white polar bear. But you can see behind the wrecks and in between the rocks. Let's take a look and see who's hiding there. Who do you think is hiding there first? What creatures do you think are in our ocean book tonight? Let's see. First, we're going to sing about some crabs and some turtles. Let's check it out. The crab likes walking sideways, and I think the reasons why is to make himself look sneaky and pretend that he's a spy. What do you think? Do you think crabs look sneaky when they walk sideways? Maybe they got a little secret? Now let's look at our turtles here. Look at that turtle family. We crawl up the beach from the water to bury our eggs on dry land. We lay a whole batch, and then when they hatch, they scamper about on the sand. Look at all those how many turtle babies are in there? Let's see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, don't forget that guy. 8 turtle babies. It's a lot of turtle babies. Do you have that many babies in your house? I do not have that many babies in my house. Next, look at these dolphins. The wonderful thing about dolphins is trying to hear them speak. It's not, how do you do, like I'd say to you. It's more like a click, whistle, squeak. What do you think? Can you make a good dolphin noise with a click or a whistle? Can't really whistle. Or a squeak. Ooh, here's a fun fish. We've got our angelfish. Hello, I'm the angelfish, darling, the prettiest fish in the sea. What a shame there are no other creatures as gorgeous and lovely as me. Ooh, and here's our jellyfish. Have you ever seen a jellyfish? You ever touched a jellyfish? No fun. Don't touch jellyfish. The jellyfish just loves to jiggle, though his friends all think it's quite dumb. She knows that it's not very useful, but jiggling's lots of good fun. Get a good jellyfish jiggle going on there. Oh, did I give it away? What animal are we singing about next, do you think? I give you a hint. It's really big, and it's got really big, sharp, pointy teeth. What animal do we think it is? It's a shark! Oh my goodness, look at that big old shark. I swim with a grin up to greet ya. See how my jaws open wide. Why don't you come a bit closer? Please take a good look inside. Jump! You got us. Ooh, here's a fun fish. We've got our swordfish. I love to chase after small fishes. It keeps me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer some fish on my sword. Ooh, and then we've got some octopus. Now, how many legs do octopi have? Do you remember how many legs octopi have? Or octopus if it's just one? We've got 8. That's right. Let's see if we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs on that octopus. Look at that. Having 8 arms can be useful. You may think it looks a bit funny, but it helps me to hold all my children and tickle them all on their tummies. Ooh, let's check these guys out. We've got some stingrays. At the bottom of the ocean, the stingray flaps his wings. But don't you get too close to him, 'cause his tail really stings. Ouch! Look at those fish getting stung by that tail right there. Ooh, and speaking of fish we don't want to touch, look at these lobsters. Never shake hands with a lobster. It isn't a wise thing to do. With a clippity-clap and a snippity-snap, he'll cuddle your fingers in two. Ooh, here's some funky-looking fish. What do you think? Do you recognize any of these? These are kind of our weird fish. Miles below the surface, where the water's dark and deep, lie the most amazing creatures that you could ever meet. There are fish of all descriptions, of every shape and size. Some have giant pointy teeth and gigantic bulging eyes. Some of them can walk around and balance on their fins. But the strangest fish of all have glowing whiskers on their chins. Look at those fish that have those big old whiskers that glow in the dark. They gotta have those glow-in-the-dark whiskers to see down there at the bottom of the sea. Oh, all right, we got another animal to guess to give it away. It's another really big animal. It's another really big mammal that kind of looks like a fish, and it's the biggest animal in the whole world. It's our blue whale. Look at this big old guy. There's no other beast on the planet as big as the giant blue whale. He measures 100 feet long from the tip of his head to his tail, y'all. That is a lot of feet. That's a big old fish, or mammal, as it were. Ooh, we've got something hanging out down here. What are these guys? We got some barnacles hanging out on the bottom of that whale. We're just a bunch of barnacles, and all we do is cling. We know it's not that glamorous, but it's our favorite thing. Those barnacles that live on the bottom of that whale. They hitch a ride. Well, here's a fun one, you guys. We got some walruses. Our bodies are covered with blubber and you know what their big teeth are called right there? Those two big teeth hanging down in front of their face. See if we can see them. It's their tusks. Our bodies are covered in blubber, and our tusks are incredibly long. We're grumpy and proud, and we bellow out loud to show that we're mighty and strong. What do you think? Do you have a good walrus bellow? What does a walrus sound like? It's been a while since I've heard a walrus. I think it sounds like wah or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. Ooh, and I bet this is somebody's favorite animal here with our penguins. We waddle around on our icebergs, which makes our feet slither and slide. And when we get close to the water, we leap with a splash off the side. And who's watching those penguins? We've got those polar bears there. Deep out in the Arctic, the mommy polar bear snuggles up with all her children since it's very cold out there. It is. See, they're sitting on those icebergs. They live where it's really cold. Do you live where it's really cold? I do not live where it's very cold. Not in Texas. Not at all. What a lot of creatures we have seen beneath the sea, and what a lot of funny things they do. Some of them might lick their lips and eat you in one bite, and some might want to swim around with you. The dolphin's very friendly, and the lobster is quite fierce. But the shark is the most dangerous by far. Can you name the other friends that we've made along the way? See if you can tell me who they are. What do you think? Do you remember some of the other animals that we saw in this book? Let's see which ones we can see in that porthole right there. I see a dolphin and a jellyfish. Ooh, does anybody remember what that fish right there with the big old long pointy nose is called? Our swordfish. Yeah, we've got our swordfish. And our whale, our great big blue whale. How big was our whale again? It was 100 feet long. That's a big whale. And our shark, and our octopus, and even our little lobster popping up to say hello. What other animals did we sing about? Did you have a favorite that we sang about? Did you like our stingrays, maybe? Or maybe did you like singing about our walrus with their great big walrus bellow? Or maybe you liked all the funky looking fish that live down at the bottom of the deep sea. We sang about lots of cool animals today. Awesome, you guys. Thanks for joining us for a musical bedtime story. I do have some discussion questions for us to ask each other that you can go and check in the links of our video right here and pull up the discussion questions on your own. I've got my own copy right here. So our first discussion question is, have you ever been to the ocean? Have you ever been to the ocean, been on a beach trip, been out on a boat? What all did you do when you were at the ocean? Did you lay out in the sand or go hunting for seashells? Try to see what fish you could swim around? If you went looking for fish, what all kinds of fish did you see? What kind of creatures did you see? A lot of times you see like seagulls at the beach, like big old birds. Ooh, Ella says she remembers our penguin from the book, and Hunter says the whale. I like it. Hunter and Ella, have you ever seen penguins and whales at the beach when you've gone? Or at the zoo, maybe? I've seen penguins at the zoo before. And what is your favorite animal that we sang about in that whole book? I think my favorite animal was the walrus. I like doing my big old loud walrus bellow. And if you have a favorite animal that we didn't sing about in our book, what's your favorite animal of all time? Even if we didn't sing about it in this book. My favorite animal is an elephant. You might see up there on my bookshelf. I've got some elephants sitting up there with our book. I also like giraffes. They're pretty cool. Ooh, here's a fun one. If you were going to write your own book about animals, what kind of animals would you write about? Would you write a book about the animals that you see in the ocean? Or would you write a book about animals that you might see on safari? Or animals that you might see if you went to the rainforest? Would you take all of your favorite animals from all over the whole world and put them in one big book of all of your favorites? You got a lot of animals to write about. And the good news is you don't even have to go that far away to see some good animals. You can see animals right around your house, I bet. So what are some animals that live right around your house that you can look at tomorrow? Maybe you can go on the porch and look. You can look out your window. I have squirrels that live out by my house and lots of different types of birds. We have lots of cats that live around my house. I can definitely go look at some cats. And we have some bugs too that I like to look at. We've got some bees that pollinate our flowers and help make food for us. We've got pretty butterflies to look at. There's all kinds of animals we can look at right around our house. We don't even have to go anywhere. Awesome, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us for our musical bedtime story tonight. And we are going to send everybody out with a nice goodbye song to send us to bed. Here we go. Good night, my friend. It's time to go. Good night, my friend. It's time to go. Hate to leave you, I really must say good night, my friend. Good night. All right, everybody. First, we're going to say good night to me. So let's start with good night to Annie. Good night to Annie. It's time to go. Good night to Annie. It's time to go. Hate to leave you, I really must say good night, my friend. Good night. All right, let's sing good night to some of our friends that joined us tonight that you saw commenting along. We could sing good night to Ella, it's time to go. And good night to Hunter, it's time to go. Good night to Allie and Kara too. Good night, my friend, good night. And we can still sing along to you too if we haven't sung to you yet. We're going to sing it one more time, and you sing your name along with us. Here we go. Good night to, it's time to go. Good night to, it's time to go. Wonderful. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our musical bedtime story tonight. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. We're going to be doing another move and groove to help getting everybody up and active. Like a lot of other small businesses, we have been impacted by this COVID outbreak. We have been unable to see our normal clients during this time, but the good news is that we were able to make these videos to connect with everybody, to share some music around. If you'd like to support Heart and Harmony, feel free to make a donation using the PayPal link in the description. Also feel free to head on over to our Facebook page and leave us a review. That word of mouth support really means the world to small businesses, both now and when we're not in the middle of an international pandemic. So thank you again for joining us tonight. Tune in tomorrow morning for our Move and Groove, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.